The door you've never opened. Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to push open a door and step into a room that hasn't changed in 700 years? Not a loud, crowded party. Just a dark, warm space where the only sounds are a crackling fire and the soft clink of a clay cup. What would you smell first? What would you see in the shadows? And why would you want to stay, even though the floor is dirt and the bench is wet? Tonight, we go there. But before we walk through that door together, take a moment to subscribe to Little Historical. And if you enjoy falling asleep to quiet, gentle history, please like this video. It helps others find the calm. Now, close your eyes, or keep them open. And let's step inside. What if I told you that a medieval tavern wasn't a place of shouting and fighting? The memory you didn't know you had. Have you ever felt tired in a way that isn't just physical? A deep, old tiredness, like you've been walking for days, even though you've only been sitting in a chair? That is the feeling we're following tonight. We're following a traveler in the 14th century who has nowhere to sleep except a low-ceilinged room made of stone and wood. A medieval tavern. But here's the question. Why would anyone choose to sleep on a dirt floor next to a stranger with nothing but a cloak for warmth? And why does that sound, strangely, comforting? Before we find out, please subscribe to Little Historical. And if you're watching this late at night, go ahead and like the video. It tells YouTube to send more people to sleep. Now, take a slow breath in and out. And let's walk toward that door together. What if it was mostly quiet? Just tired people sitting on wooden benches, watching a fire that barely glows. No bards. No brawls. Just the slow drip of rain outside and the occasional cough from a corner. Does that sound boring? Good. Because boring is exactly what you need tonight. Before we go there, please subscribe to Little Historical. And if you want more sleep stories like this, tap the like button. It takes 1 second, and it means everything to a new channel. Now, let your breath slow down. And let's enter the quietest tavern you've ever imagined. You push open the heavy door, and for a moment, you stand frozen on the threshold. Not because the room is frightening, but because it is so dark that your eyes refuse to believe what they are seeing. The fire in the center of the room has burned down to almost nothing, just a handful of red coals breathing softly beneath a layer of grey ash. And yet, the darkness is not empty. You feel it before you see it, the weight of other people's presence. Someone is sitting in the corner, so still that they might be part of the wall. You cannot tell if they are watching you or sleeping. Their face is hidden in shadow, but you sense a slow, deliberate turning of the head, as if they have been waiting for someone to walk through that door. Your breath catches, not from fear, exactly, from the strange, quiet intimacy of being seen in a place where no one should care who you are. The air itself seems to hold secrets, smoke, sweat, spilled ale, and something else, something warmer that you cannot name. It clings to your skin like a whisper. You take a step forward, and the floor creaks beneath your weight. The sound is louder than you expected, and for a heartbeat, the entire room seems to listen. Then the fire pops, and the moment passes. You find an empty bench against the far wall. As you sit, your hand brushes against something carved into the wood, letters, or maybe a symbol, worn smooth by countless palms. You wonder who left it there, and why. The bench is still warm, as if someone rose just before you arrived. You look around, but no one meets your gaze. The tavern keeper, watches you from behind the barrel, their eyes glinting in the low light. They do not speak. They simply nod once, very slowly, as if acknowledging something unspoken between you. You nod back. That is all the conversation needed. A clay cup appears before you, filled with ale that is neither cold nor warm, just present. You lift it to your lips, and for a second, you hesitate. Because in this dim, smoke-filled room, surrounded by strangers who breathe in the same slow rhythm, you realize you are no longer an observer. You are part of the tavern now, and whatever happens next, you will not leave the same way you entered. That is the first truth of the medieval tavern. It does not welcome you. It absorbs you, and once it has you, it does not let go until morning. The cup is empty now, but you do not set it down. You hold it against your chest, feeling the last traces of warmth seep through the clay into your palm. The tavern keeper has not moved from their place against the far wall, but you feel their attention like a hand resting on the back of your neck. It is not unpleasant. That is what unsettles you. Across the room, the stranger in the corner stirs. You hear the soft drag of a boot against the dirt floor, the whisper of fabric shifting. A low voice emerges from the shadows, rough as stone and slow as dripping water. "You should not drink alone," the voice says. You turn your head, but you still cannot see a face. Only the outline of shoulders, the pale shape of fingers wrapped around a cup. "Why not?" you ask, and your own voice sounds strange to you. Too loud, too eager. The stranger does not answer immediately. Instead, they lean forward just enough that the firelight catches the edge of their jaw, the curve of a mouth that might be smiling or might be something else entirely. "Because," they say finally, "ale tastes different when someone watches you drink it. Sweeter or more bitter. You never know until you try." They raise their cup in your direction, an invitation. You hesitate, and in that hesitation, you feel the tavern keeper's gaze sharpen. The air between the three of you seems to thicken, heavy with something unspoken. This is not a game. Or perhaps it is, but the rules are hidden, and the stakes are written nowhere you can see. You lift your own empty cup, and the stranger laughs softly. It is a quiet sound, intimate and knowing, like a secret shared between two people who have already decided to trust each other more than they should. "Good," the stranger says. "Now ask the keeper for another, and this time, do not look away from me while you drink." Your heart moves faster, not from fear, from the strange, electric pull of being chosen in a room full of shadows. You turn toward the tavern keeper, and they are already pouring. The ale glugs into a fresh cup, dark and fragrant, and when you take it, your fingers brush against the keeper's hand. Their skin is warm, warmer than the fire, warmer than it should be. You do not pull away. Neither do they. For one long breath, you are connected by nothing but touch and silence. Then the keeper releases you, and you turn back to the stranger. The cup rises to your lips. You do not look away. Neither do they. And somewhere in the darkness, a woman whispers something you cannot hear, and the night deepens around you like a slow, velvet trap. You are in the tavern now, and the darkness has stopped feeling like a threat. It has become something else, a blanket, a confidant, a witness. The fire breathes its last red breaths, and in the space between one glow and the next, you notice the tavern keeper moving towards you. Not walking exactly, drifting. Their feet make no sound on the dirt floor. Only the soft rustle of wool against wool. They stop beside your bench, close enough that you can smell the wood smoke woven into their clothes, the faint sourness of ale on their breath, and something beneath that. Something like old herbs or dried flowers, as if they have been touching something fragrant long before you arrived. They do not ask if you want more ale. Instead, they lean down, just slightly, and you feel the heat of their body near your shoulder. Not touching, almost touching. That is worse, in a way. Your skin remembers what it is like to be close to a stranger in the dark. The tavern keeper's voice, when it comes, is low and rough, barely a whisper. "You are not from here," they say. It is not a question. You shake your head, though you are not sure they can see it. "No one is," they add, and there is something in their tone that could be pity, or warning, or invitation. You cannot tell. They straighten and walk back to the barrel, but before they disappear into the shadows, they turn their head just enough that you see the curve of their jaw, the glint of an eye. "Drink slowly," they say. "The night is longer than you think." You look down at your cup. The ale is darker now, or maybe your eyes have adjusted. You lift it, and the rim touches your lower lip. The liquid is warm and strangely heavy, as if it has been waiting for you. You swallow, and the taste is not flat anymore. There is something underneath, honey, perhaps, or a spice you cannot name. It spreads through your chest like a slow secret. You want another sip immediately. That is when you realize the tavern keeper is watching you again from across the room, their face half lit by the dying coals. They are not smiling, but their stillness feels like a promise. You have been given something tonight, and you do not yet know the price. The ale warms your stomach, and the fire warms your face, and somewhere in the darkness, someone shifts on a bench, sighing in their sleep. You are not afraid. You are curious, and curiosity, in a medieval tavern, is the most dangerous thing of all. The stranger's gaze does not leave yours, even as you lower the cup. The ale is warm on your tongue, and you realize you have forgotten to taste it. All your attention is fixed on the shadows across the room, on the pale fingers curled around that other cup, on the slow rise and fall of a chest you cannot quite see. You should look away, you do not. The stranger sets their cup down on the table between them, and the soft thunk of clay against wood echoes in the silence. Then they rise. Slowly, deliberately. The bench creaks, and the firelight catches the length of their body. Tall, lean, wrapped in wool that has been mended in 3 places. They take a step toward you, and then another, and you realize they are not stopping. The space between you shrinks, your breath goes shallow. They stop just beyond arm's reach, close enough that you can smell the rain still trapped in their cloak, the faint sharpness of wood smoke, and something else. Something like leather and old paper and skin warmed by fire. You tilt your head up to see their face. They are younger than you expected, or older, or both. The light plays tricks. Their eyes are dark, but not empty. They are watching you the way someone watches a candle flame before they blow it out. "You came alone," they say. It is not a question. You nod. "So did you," you reply, and your voice is steadier than you feel. The stranger smiles, but it does not reach their eyes. It is a careful smile, a guarded one, as if they are showing you only what they want you to see. "Did I?" they ask. "How do you know I am alone?" You glance around the room instinctively. The tavern keeper has vanished into the deeper shadows near the barrel. The other patrons are still, faces hidden, bodies curled toward the dying fire. No one claims this stranger. No one watches them but you. "Because no one has spoken to you," you say. "Until now." The stranger's smile softens into something almost real. They lower themselves onto the bench beside you, not touching, but close. The wood groans under the added weight. Their shoulder is inches from yours. You can feel the heat radiating from their body, and you realize suddenly that you are not cold anymore. You have not been cold since you walked through that door. "Be careful," the stranger murmurs, and their voice is lower now, meant only for you. In a place like this, being noticed is not always a blessing. They turn their head, and for a moment, Your faces are so close that you could count the shadows beneath their eyes. But sometimes, they add, it is exactly what you came for. The fire pops, a spark rises toward the smoke hole, and in that brief flash of light, you see something in the stranger's expression that makes your stomach tighten. Longing, warning, hunger. You cannot tell which, perhaps all three. You reach for your cup again, but your hand is shaking. Just slightly, just enough.